Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me. This is the fiscal year 26 through 29 STIP Development Rural Consultation meeting. If we could start off, I do want to give everybody a heads up that this meeting is being recorded. We have disabled the video and mic feature for each participant. However, if you have a question, you could always write it in chat or raise your hand towards the end of the presentation, and then we can unmute your mic and we can talk about whatever. Throughout the presentation, we'll discuss what a STIP is, how a project gets into the STIP, and really kind of take a 30,000-foot overview of the STIP projects in our region. And we have an ODOT representative, Ben, on here as well. It looks like we don't have District 10 representation yet. So if you have any questions regarding the 7 counties in our region for District 10, I can do my best to kind of go over some of those projects. We have a full project list and also maps for each county of planned STIP projects. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it. It won't take the full hour and a half, but feel free to stick around. We're going to leave the meeting open for the hour and a half in case people filter in and out. So to introduce the District 10 team and District 5 team and Buckeye Hills as well. My name is Eric Wade. I'm a senior planner with Buckeye Hills Regional Council. I work for the RTPO. Melissa is on the call as well. She's our planning director. Heather Gilbert also works for District 5. She's the program administrator. And then Andrea Fulmer is the program administrator for District 10 for the 7 counties. The 7 counties in District 10 are Hawking, Meigs, Monroe, Noble, Morgan, Washington, Athens, and then District 5, we have Perry County. So again, just to kind of do a quick overview of the meeting, what we're going to discuss is what is the STIP? How does the project get into the STIP? What is STIP Rural Consultation? And again, just go over that draft 26-29 STIP project list. Again, it's a smaller overview, but we can get into it in depth if you would like for each of your regions. How do you participate in the process? And just some helpful links at the end. And again, all of this material will be on our website following the conclusion of this meeting, and we will do our due diligence to update it routinely so that way you have access to the STIP project list and also updated maps for your counties. So what is the STIP? The STIP is a statewide transportation improvement program, and it's a 4-year transportation plan that identifies and prioritizes a list of projects scheduled for some phase of implementation within that 4-year period. The way that a project gets into the STIP is funding is secured. Work on any phase will occur within the 4-year STIP period, as we just stated. It is also federally or state funded and can be regionally significant. But essentially, regional significance means that a transportation project, other than projects that may be grouped in the TIP or STIP exempt projects, which is defined in the EPA's conformity regulations, are on a facility that serves regional transportation needs, such as access to and from the area outside the region, major activity centers in the region, major planned developments such as new retail malls, sports complexes, employment centers, transportation terminals, etc., would normally be included in the modeling of the metropolitan area transportation network. In this case, it's rural transportation network, but at a minimum, it includes principal arterial highways and all fixed guideway transit facilities, really anything that offers an alternative to regional highway transit would what is the federal definition essentially of regionally significant. So when and how is the STIP developed? Again, the STIP development occurs every 2 years. I believe our STIP representative for ODOT is Natasha Turner. She'll reach out. She collaborates between them, MPOs, RTPOs, rural officials, mayors, village administrators, and works for a priority list throughout Ohio. And then they reach out federally, statewide, et cetera, to obtain funding. Recycle starts with input from rural officials. They develop a draft. They review the draft. They have a public comment period. They submit it to the USDOT for approval. Hopefully that does get reviewed and then approved, and then they continue to maintain that. And that is, again, cyclical for every 2 years. So What is our role in this as Buckeye Hills? What is a STIP rural consultation, right? It's time for ODOT to meet with rural local officials specifically on the STIP development. We do have, again, an ODOT rep here as well. And then I can fill the gaps for District 10 unless they have joined. And then it's time for rural local officials, a lot of the stakeholders on the call today, to just discuss and provide input on regional transportation projects, needs, and highlight things that you want to look at over the next 4 years and the 4 years out. So here is a partial list. I have the full list online, and again, we can discuss that as we get into it. If anybody has any questions or wants to look at anything county specific or area specific. But here's just an example of what the spreadsheet will look like on the website. It just identifies project name, what county it's in, what district, and who's the sponsoring agency, what type of work will be done, where the termini of work will occur, and just a brief description, and then the project phase and the award year for the project. I'll give you all a second to take a look at this. I tried to include a little bit of everything in this. As you can see, it's really a broad spectrum of projects, from minor rehabs to pedestrian facilities to landslide repair to parks. I think they do a good job of diversifying, especially in a rural area like ours. But the project list is pretty significant with quite a bit of funds going to projects overall. Here is also kind of an overview of what the maps look like. Again, all this will be on our website, so you can look at this in greater detail. But here's the maps for each of our counties in the region and what projects will occur from that 26 to 29 period. Again, we can look at these in greater depth if you have any questions specifically to your region at the conclusion of the presentation. So, big question again, how do you get involved? This meeting's a big part of that. Again, feel free to ask anything. All questions, comments will be provided and sent to Natasha at ODOT. We'll keep them on our website as a part of the public participation process. And again, you can submit comments verbally, written, right? There's a comment sheet, which will be linked on our website and is shown at the last slide. And if you have any questions later, feel free to reach out to me. My email is listed below, and you can contact my cell phone as well, my work phone. And I would love to get you in touch with the right people. One of our goals, and I recently started with the RTPO in early January, was to engage stakeholders better, right? Communication is key in our region. And I know there's a trend that the rural folks can often feel that they get left out. Well, one of the things that we want to prioritize with the RTPO is making your voice heard. So just get a hold of me if you have any questions. And again, here's those helpful links, which I will place on the website at the end of the presentation. And you can always reach out to those. There's a resource guide from ODOT, Rural Consultation Guide, and then Ellis Projects, which is the project management system. It's the public facing side for ODOT that essentially shows the current projects going on, future projects, and I believe future projects, but the current projects going on and what phase they're in, who's the project manager, who you can reach out to ODOT to discuss that project. So that is a good tool to use. I've used it many times. And that is the end of the presentation. Again, we're going to leave it open for the next hour and 20 minutes in case people filter in and out and have any questions. But we would love to take regional project city-specific questions now from our stakeholder partners. If you don't mind, we're going to turn the floor over to you all.